All right, Cody, stop the music, please. Stop the music. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. It's Monday. I'm Howard Riell Truth. And I'm starting with a riddle alert. I don't like to start a week that way. I don't want to get off on the wrong foot, but no time for intro music today. Item from the Marshall Report. Senator Jeff Sessions, Republican, Alabama, warning to all Americans. Sessions is the chairman of the Immigration Subcommittee, and he shared the following warning concerning the Obama administration's plan to resettle nearly 200,000 refugees in the United States over the next 2 years. Senator Sessions says the following, quote, "The U.S. has already taken in 4 times more immigrants than any other nation on earth. Our foreign-born population share is set to break every known historical record. Since 9/11, we have permanently resettled approximately 1.5 million migrants from Muslim nations inside the U.S. 90% of recent refugees from the Middle East living in our country are receiving food stamps, and approximately 70% are receiving free health care and cash welfare. All of the nearly 200,000 refugees the administration is planning to bring over in the next 2 years would be entitled to these same benefits the moment they arrive. Since we're running up huge deficits, every penny of these billions in costs will have to be borrowed and added to the debt. This refugee expansion would be in addition to the 1 million autopilot green cards handed out each year by the government to mostly low-wage migrants, including a large share from Middle Eastern nations. Our schools, job markets, and public resources are already stretched too thin. And even at current rates, we have no capacity to screen for extremist ideology, as we've seen with the surge of ISIS recruitment in Minnesota's Somali refugee community. Middle Eastern nations must take the lead in resettling their region's refugees. The goal of responsible refugee resettlement should be to relocate displaced persons as close to their homes as possible and to seek their return to their country of origin in more stable conditions. It's also been reported that 3 in 4 of those seeking relocation from the Middle East are not refugees, but economic migrants from many countries. At bottom, it is not a sound policy to respond to the myriad problems in the Middle East by encouraging millions to abandon their homes. Absorbing the region's migrants is not a long-term strategy for stabilizing the region. Instead, we should look soberly at our most recent actions in Libya, Syria, Iraq, and elsewhere, while encouraging migrant populations to remain in the region where they can contribute to social and political reforms." Unquote. Senator Sessions, you are a blockhead. Now, I don't know if he's being honest, if he truly is as stupid as he sounds, or if he's just playing politics. And as we know, playing politics is what's killing America. Now, I don't know Jeff Sessions. Maybe he is a jerk. Certainly sounds like one. It's not a good policy for America. Senator Sessions, schmuck. President Obama knows this. That's why he's doing it. Did you think he was bringing in hundreds of thousands of illiterate, automatic welfare recipients in order to build up America? Obviously, he's doing it to sabotage America. Senator Sessions, schmuck. It's not a good policy for the Middle East, is it? Well, of course it is. Of course it is. If it was good for the Arab countries in the Middle East to keep these people and institute reforms, do you not think that they would have done it by now? Obviously, they realize that what's in their best interest, and their right, is to ship their unwanted, unwashed to us. They're sending us people with no educations, no personal hygiene, no future, no plans, no ambition. They're also sending us soldiers. When you look at those videos of those migrant hordes coming out of the Middle East towards Europe, they're all military-age, healthy, able-bodied young men. Senator Sessions, schmuck! When do you get your head out of your butt and realize that what's being done is a sabotage job? America is being betrayed by its president and by Congress. And the Middle East is getting rid of its trash by sending it here, and fools that we are, we're accepting it. And so instead of hearing about Senator Sessions going on and on about policy, when do I hear about Senator Sessions going on about erecting a fence and about stopping this president from sabotaging the country and doing something substantive and real to cut off this Trojan horse that's infiltrating and invading Europe and America? Senator Sessions, you got to do more than put out a press release and say stupid things. And that's the problem with Congress. They don't do, they talk. And when they talk, they don't say anything intelligent or meaningful or real. And so, yeah, Barack Obama is sabotaging America. And the leaders in the Middle Eastern Arab countries are sabotaging America. And in the final analysis, Senator Jeff Sessions is sabotaging America because instead of taking action, he's yammering, which accomplishes nothing. Item from thedailywire.com, a transgender student's 2-year lawsuit against his high school for being barred from sex-assigned locker rooms could result in total loss of the school district's federal funding, authorities concluded on Monday. Stop! My friends, terrible, terrible problem in America is drug addiction. Huh? I was just talking about transgender and about a lawsuit against the school system. Where do I come to drug addiction? Well, obviously, the drug I'm talking about, the drug of choice in America, is federal money. States, school systems are all drug addicts, and the pusher is Uncle Sam. And if Uncle Sam threatens to cut off money, whoa, states, school systems, other municipalities will move heaven and earth and defy logic, reason, and common sense because they want their fix. They want that fix of federal money, and don't get between them and the Fed's pocket because they'll trample you. This transgender kid is suing a school because they won't let him use a girl's locker room. Well, I grant you there aren't a lot of intelligent people in the nation's school systems, but certainly they can see that this is wrong. But then comes federal money. So what's wrong is now right. And what the majority of people, parents and students in the school wants, doesn't matter because the school system is a junkie. Now you understand why I didn't want to do the intro music today. It's Monday, and it's Riell Truth, and there's no time to waste. I'll be right back.
Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies reminds everyone the chance of involvement in an auto accident rises dramatically with the consumption of alcohol or use of drugs. Please think before you drive. Don't let drugs or alcohol ruin your life or take the lives of others. You are responsible for your own safety as well as the safety of those around you. This message from Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies. For information on their services, call 970-484-7981. Now this is the testimony of John, whom the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex prospecto, or while incurring the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
Okay, I told you I'd be back. I'm back. Howard Riell. The show is called Riell Truth. I am going to start off with a really interesting video. Donald Trump talking about President Obama, whom he calls an unbelievable divider. Well, that's not exactly what I'd call Obama, but this is from Fox News. For the time being, we'll take it. Here's Donald Trump. The president is now viciously mocking the 2016 All right, my friends, that's Sean Hannity. That's Donald Trump. If you don't recognize the voice, that's him. And yeah, I believe him. When he says no politician, I would add the word mere. No mere politician will have the cojones to do what Trump will do to put this country back in the right direction. I believe him. I think he's right. Item from the London Telegraph. Disturbing footage showing routine abuse of sheep in a halal slaughterhouse has reignited the debate over whether animals should be stunned before they're killed for meat. Under halal law, animals are supposed to be killed quickly by a single cut from a surgically sharp knife. Although 80% of halal meat is stunned, the number of sheep killed without stunning is rising due to campaigning by Muslims, figures show. Secret filming in a halal abattoir in Yorkshire showed, quote, horrifying treatment of animals killed without stunning. Workers were shown hacking and sawing at the animals' throats and with apparently blunt knives. In one instance, in the procedure, which according to Islamic law should be instantaneous, it took 5 attempts. Halal rules also state animals should never see the knife or witness others being killed, protecting them against unnecessary trauma. But the footage showed a man wearing a Muslim kufi skull cap at Bowood Lamb Abattoir in Thirsk, regularly sharpening knives in front of the sheep. Due to the design of the slaughterhouse, in which the sheep were forced onto the conveyor belts, the sheep typically saw another member of the flock having its throat cut, bleeding on the floor, and being hoisted and shackled. Unquote. My friends, some people may find this shocking, but I don't know why. We see videos every week of Muslims doing all these things to human beings. So what's the shock when we see them doing them to animals? Hey, you out there, wake up. Everybody knows the palpable horror that Islam is, and people sit there and go, gee whiz. Folks, we got to do more than say gee whiz. We got to stop it. We got to stop it. Item from Fox News. Donald Trump returned to Saturday Night Live this weekend to poke fun at his persona and take another swipe at longtime nemesis Rosie O'Donnell. She said some things about me that were hurtful and untrue, he jabbed in the show's opening monologue. I said some things about her that were mean, but completely accurate. Trump, only the second active presidential candidate to host the sketch comedy series, Reverend Al Sharpton was first, in 2003, was greeted with rousing applause inside Studio 8H. People think I'm controversial, but the truth is I'm a nice guy, he told the crowd. The outspoken billionaire kicked off the show by appearing side by side with 2 of the most famous doppelgangers, Taran Killam and Darrell Hammond. They don't have my talent, my money, or especially my good looks, he quipped. But the evening's best line came from Seinfeld creator Larry David, who yelled out, "You're a racist," from off camera. When Trump, feigning surprise, asked what was going on, Dave cracked, "I heard if I yelled that, they'd give me $5,000. Prior to the broadcast, several hundred protesters congregated outside NBC studios at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, hoping to convince the network to keep the real estate mogul off its airways. Stop! My friends, the several hundred morons gathering outside NBC studios at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, I don't know much about them. I only know 2 things. Number 1, they certainly don't believe in free speech. Number 2, they certainly don't believe in the rule of law because they're agitating for illegal aliens to violate our borders and come here illegally and stay here illegally. So if they don't believe in freedom of speech, don't believe in the rule of law, what exactly the hell are they doing in this country? Better, why are we allowing them to stay in this country? If you can't even agree on such staples, American staples, as freedom of speech and the rule of law, then get thee to a third world country where they have neither and spend the rest of your miserable life there. Item from Reuters. 2 Americans, 1 South African and 3 Jordanians were killed in a shooting incident at a Jordanian training center near Amman on Monday, and the shooter was also killed, a U.S. official said. 6 others were wounded in the attack, the official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said. The Americans were working for the U.S. State Department's International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs Bureau, training Palestinian security forces. The officials added, "Stop! Americans training terrorists. Americans training terrorist Nazis. That's what America has come to in 2015, my friends. Used to be you knew who the good guys were. America was the good guy, and anyone we were partnering with must also have been a good guy, right? Americans are training Palestinian Nazi terrorist murderers. And you want to know why bad, terrible things are happening to America? Look skyward and ask that question. Item from Breitbart. The anti-mass migration Alternative for Deutschland party held a rally in the German capital of Berlin this afternoon, demanding the resignation of Chancellor Angela Merkel and calling for the country to adopt a strong policy on immigration. The AfD has seen its popularity surge as Germany struggles to deal with the huge influx of migrants and is currently campaigning in local elections in the Saxony-Anhalt region that will be seen as an indicator of public sentiment on the issue. German paper Handelsblatt estimates 5,000 people joined the rally this afternoon, calling for the immediate closure of Germany's borders and introduction of visa requirements for migrants from the Balkan states, including Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Montenegro. Unquote. My friends, the Germans are not serious about protecting their borders. 5,000 people in a country the size of Germany is nothing. Demanding, what was this last part? Demanding introduction of visa requirements for migrants means they're not going to stop the flow of migrants. They just want paperwork. So Germany's dead. Whatever you grew up thinking about, hearing about Germany, forget it. It's done. Germany is done. I will shed no tears, but I want you to know what happens to countries that allow Muslim hordes to invade. The countries come to an end. Our job is to see to it that does not happen here in America. Item from the Wall Street Journal. Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson said Friday he supports the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement negotiated by the White House, aligning himself more with the GOP's establishment wing than with the social conservatives who've powered his campaign. Mr. Carson's backing of the 12-nation Pacific trade deal places him at odds with Donald Trump, his chief rival for support among anti-establishment Republicans. Stop! My friends, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement negotiated by the White House is poison. And I'm very, very disappointed in Dr. Carson for signing on to it. It's a big mistake. We'll be back.
Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies reminds everyone the chance of involvement in an auto accident rises dramatically with the consumption of alcohol or use of drugs. Please think before you drive. Don't let drugs or alcohol ruin your life or take the lives of others. You are responsible for your own safety as well as the safety of those around you. This message from Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies. For information on their services, call 970-484-7981. Raise your own gold. Brought to you by the Patriot Training Group at allamericangold.com. Reason number 647. Most people don't even know that the courts have already ruled. Once money is deposited into the bank owns the money, and the depositor is merely an unsecured creditor of the bank. Which means if the bank goes under, you get paid back. After the financial crisis, instead of breaking up too big to fail, the government and the Federal Reserve created Dodd-Frank and made too big to fail banks even bigger, while putting your deposit more at risk. I'm Joe Jacob, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. For more, visit us at allamericangold.com or call us at 800-951-0592. And as you has seen God at any time, the only begotten Son who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
I am back. Howard Riell. The show is called Riell Truth. I know because I named it myself. Pajamas TV. Oh, I like this guy. I like this guy. Bill. Afterburner with Bill Whittle, but this is not Afterburner. This is a different show he does, but it doesn't matter. The show is titled, the video is titled Eloy, and if you don't know what the Eloy is or who the Eloy are, well, then you don't watch old movies. Let's listen. Here's Bill Whittle.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Whittle, and this is Afterburner.
My friends, he is absolutely right. The movie The Time Machine with the late Rod Taylor, he died within the last year, is a great parallel to what's happening in our own society. God help us. God help us. We have become the Eloi, and we are sitting ducks for the Morlocks. Item from Reuters. The Mormon Church has deemed married same-sex couples to be apostates of the faith and their children ineligible for baptism in a reaffirmation of opposition to gay marriage months after endorsing fair housing and employment on the basis of sexual orientation. The new policy was approved by Mormon leaders, the Council of the First Presidency and Quorum of the 12 Apostles, to instruct local clergy how to proceed in light of the U.S. Supreme Court's landmark ruling in June, legalizing same-sex marriage and similar moves in other countries. The Salt Lake City-based Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as the Mormon faith is formally known, claims more than 15 million members and 85,000 missionaries worldwide, unquote. Well, now you know the missionaries' position. Item from Free Beacon. As the nation's chief diplomat, Hillary Clinton was responsible for ascertaining whether information in her possession was classified and acknowledged that, quote, negligent handling of that information could jeopardize national security, according to a copy of an agreement she signed upon taking the job. A day after assuming office as Secretary of State, Clinton signed a sensitive, compartmented information non-disclosure agreement that laid out criminal penalties for any unauthorized disclosure of classified information, unquote. So what do you say we toss her ass in jail?
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens?
All right, guys, video over. You know where to find it online, so find it online and share it. Hasta luego.